Good morning, Lombok. Got the room not to ourselves today, unfortunately. I just told homeboy that I'm gonna be recording in here, so he was gracious enough to say, I'll go hit breakfast. We'll see if he comes in mid-podcast. He didn't speak English very well, unfortunately, so whatever. It's not my space, so I can't hold it down, but hopefully it'll be mostly empty. It's almost always empty in here during the podcast, but we got Tim coming on, so I need to set up the little spot here. Phone will be on tripod for camera, laptop, microphone, and we'll get into this. So I'm going to talk to Tim in a short few minutes here.
I was genuinely allowing myself to be pushed by her voluntarily. And I could have left if I wanted, but something I didn't understand was keeping me there, something that felt good to me. The reputation in the very, very small town was that, my teacher was crazy and cruel and unfair and manipulative and stuff like this. And a lot of people still think that today.
The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood.
Wrapped up the podcast with Tim. Have to say, I feel like I wasn't the best version of myself this morning. I feel like I was stumbling over my words or struggling to get the right questions out. We'll see what it sounds like. Usually when I get to the edit, I'm not as bad as my internal monologue says, but just wanted to share this because, you're not always going to be super switched on, but the podcast went great. He's a great guest and super interesting conversation. I'm glad to be connected to him now and grateful for his time. And anyway, so we'll get into the edit with that shortly. By the time you see this vlog, it's out. So check the pod. Obviously, I'll check back in this vlog later when I get to the edit bay and release it. Now I'm gonna head back, scoot back to the crib, eat some pre-workout honey and coconut oil, and then probably hit a pull session. And then later today, we got paddle with the fellas. So I'll see you shortly. I don't know if you can hear this, but it's the first rain in Lombok. Can you hear the roof of the bungalow? How's that for some ASMR? I don't know why I feel like capturing this, but it's very peaceful. Good night, friends. Good morning, Lombok. Today is a special one. We've got a little work from home setup going on in here. Get the standing desk set up, put the laptop there. To bang out some work before we finally go on the side quest for hiking and cliff jumping to this place called Orang Bukal, on the screen maybe. But I finally found somebody to go with me. Might be a few people, we'll see if anybody flakes on the plan, but today it's happening. So I gotta do some morning work now, and then I'll be off to meet with Roomy, who will be the friend of the day, Instagram somewhere. Also a YouTuber, crazy talented kid, he's 19, but I met him through Jai. And yeah, should be a fun day of adventure, so I need to be productive this morning. Already had coffee and I'm gonna drop right into this before we head out soon. Okay, wrapped up work, packing up, got the mask, the tunes, the hat, water and salt, backpack, and we're off. Gonna meet Roomy at his place and then from his place onto the beach, but I gotta get on the scooter because I'm running a little late. Okay, we made it to Roomy's spot and it is a little house, or not so little house, on a beautiful hill. This is actually where me and Dustin were surfing the other day. So we have arrived. We'll gather the troops and then be onward shortly. Let's go see the fellas. There he is. Nice. It's a crazy crib here. This view is just fucking nuts. So we got the fellas loading up their stuff in the back. We've recruited 2 more. We got Dustin coming as well. Roomy was the original. And they have 1 more roommate as well. So getting ready to ship off. But here's the precarious squirrely path. You can kind of see disappears down the hill. Unreal. This, according to people that are older, this is kind of what Uluwatu would have looked like 15, 20, 30 years ago. I would imagine that in 5 years' time, it's going to be Hotel City and villas everywhere. So, unique little touch point in history right here for showing your kids later. This is what Lombok used to look like. We made it. arduous ride, and we lost some fair weather fans. We only have Roomy left. Dustin and Nick bailed on us because of stormy skies, which you can see are absent as well. Hey, boss. How much? 30. Okay, here you go. That's for me as well. Anyway, we're gonna get parked up and then figure out what the heck is in store for us for this little hike. And I'm toasty, so the water will be good. Ugh. Body is sore. See you in a sec. Damn. Hopefully that's not a forest fire. Only controlled burns here in Lombok. They're experts in their game.
Yeah, it's so dry.
Dude, this whole place is a tinderbox. It's crazy. Like, also, how many mosques did we pass? It's like they have as many mosques as we have like Waffle Houses in the U.S. It's like,
good too. Like,
I know. I was thinking that too. I was like, where did the money come from to make these mosques?
well, everyone would have to pay. Yeah, I'd say.
So you think it's a taxation? They're just like, you live in your hut, and then we'll make this giant mosque.
Yeah, 100%. Otherwise, God won't be faithful.
Maybe. I would imagine it's just the government.
Maybe. Like president or something. Yeah, that's the same thing.
Yeah. What do they have in Indonesia? Is it like a prime minister? President. I wonder if he's been elected democratically.
I wonder which island he's on.
It's probably, what's the capital island? Probably Jakarta.
Yeah, it would be actually.
It's okay. Roomy is my aunt.
Asia's like the coolest species.
He's my aunt tour guide. This guy made more money in his aunt career than I have in my entire career as a creator. So every time he says to stop for ants, we stop for ants.
That's it. You never know. Could just be $1 billion ant in front of you.
Hey, you let me know, dude. I'll pick it up.
Oh, I mean, it would probably be something that absolutely like kills.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, I'm thinking like a bull in ant, which can leave you in agony for days.
I think I've seen those YouTube videos where they get bitten and they just like writhe on the ground.
Yeah.
Aren't they only native to like Africa or somewhere extremely metal like that? Maybe Australia.
It's Asia, but it's not. I don't think it's Indonesia. Maybe it is, but it's not here.
I'll count myself blessed then. Wow. I hate how bad it looks on camera. Like you could just never show someone, you know?
Let me see how it is now.
Crazy. This little bench action. Yup. Let's see how the zoom can handle this boat. Not super great. Uh-oh. Dangerous omens. No, it just says warning, but you always gotta be, when you see a wood carved warning sign, that's always particularly dicey. Damn. Wow. That then becomes a full-time videographer because like holding the camera and talking to it, it's like it's a big mental hurdle. I'm very good at talking to it once it's out, or at least I like to think so.
Yeah.
But it's the picking it up that gets me. So I'd love to have somebody like holding it and just kind of follow cam, because I could yap all day. Like I think that's the gift I was given. So I need to fill people into the spots that I'm not good at.
Yeah, it's like a 360 camera out of the back.
Just
like,
put it on a pole.
Yeah, legit. And it just like as if you're like a Fortnite character, just third person view.
Dude, where the fuck are we going here? Genuinely, like.
This is the cliff jump.
Yeah, we gotta jump from here. I think this is. I mean, we're running out of island here.
Yeah.
Maybe this isn't the cliff jump.
You have to go down the beach. That's like the way.
Yeah, that's kind of a bummer. I was hoping to get wet soon.
Good grind.
Jeez, man. Oh no, dude, it keeps going.
Really?
Yeah. There's blue rope down here. The boy's setting the drone up here.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna use it to scout down that way because it looks basically like certain death. But if the cliff jump spot is there, we need to go 'Cause we didn't come this far to just come this far. So we're using technology to our advantage. Doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo. Oh, I guess the beep right. Let's go. I had no idea I was gonna do that.
Send off from here. Can't be bothered to get up.
Oh, that's a nice breeze.
It is. Still leave it there for a while.
Yeah, that is kind of nice. All right, there it goes. We'll check back in with the results. My shaky cam follow footage. Come back here. All right, according to our drone footage, which you can't see, down that way is the cliff jumping spot. I wish I had a GoPro so I could traverse this with hands free, but you're just gonna have to trust that the next clip will be us at the spot. So we're gonna send it and then hopefully not get thrown to the rocks. To activate 4x4 mode so I could grip the ground, and then we're almost there. It's been an insane climb. Easily the sketchiest hike I've ever done. So if you find this, I love you all. Nicholas, Michael, Mom, Dad, prayers up. We've run into a bit of a dilemma. The cliff and exit points. Hard to tell here, but Roomy's heading out to check it out. There's like no way to get out. Like when the water pulls down below that level there, we'll see if it'll do it here in a second. Right now it's kind of high, but it's, yeah, that's like a 12-foot drop. And it's probably all, where's my finger? Oh shit. Barnacles and stuff. It's gonna be really unfortunate if we can't jump after an hour-and-a-half drive and like an hour hike. I don't know how long we've been out here, but let's scoot over here. Got Roomy scouting out. What are you saying? Sketchy? Sketchy. I think so too, but look at how much it moves. You think so? I'm not optimistic, but when you get two young men out here, it's probably going to result in us sending it. We'll see. Roomy is electing to be our trial here. He's got shoes on, so he's confident in the barnacle situation over there. He's gonna just send it, and then I'm gonna be his spot for the swell. Yeah, it's real, bro. That ocean's gonna be moving. It's low-key kind of far to swim too. I mean, you definitely can do it, but like you're gonna have to send it. We're not doing it. It's starting to rain, and the vibes are off. Bad omens out here. If you could probably see behind me.
Superstitions are kicking in.
Super sketch. Doom and gloom is coming. So, gonna hike out of here, hopefully hit the beach for at least some water. We gotta get out of here. I'm only filming this because I've been instructed, but on our way back, fallen soldier Roomy here, skidded out on the dirt. Got a little road rush action. We have some herbal remedies from the local going in. Shh, gnarly. Oh. That elbow's gonna hurt like a motherfucker.
It all just burns.
Yeah, I bet. I'm just saying that elbow.
Oh, doesn't feel great.
Kind of taking it like a tank, though, I have to say.
I mean, there's not much else to do.
I know. Oh, fuck. Hopefully this dude just didn't randomly pick a leaf, you know?
God, that one stings like hell.
Jeez, bro. I'm just worried that like you're gonna be a little wobbly getting back on, you know? Because by the way, starting from 0 speed here, just when I was trying to turn around was like damn near impossible. Like, because the bike's heavy and it's downhill.
Yeah.
We even have some monkeys watching.
At least my hands aren't absolutely cooked.
Yeah, I know. I didn't think you were going to be able to grab the bike when you said your hands, but it's mostly just your side.
But, like, yeah, my hand definitely copped it to a degree, but like more just burn.
Based on the impact zone, based on what could have happened, you honestly are in great shape.
Yeah, no broken bones. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, no concussion, seemingly.
I think that's most of it.
We're on the way for reward dinner too. We survived without cliff jumping, and the road got us.
Yeah, like right at the start of the trip.
Right at the end too. This guy has to get on a flight to Australia tomorrow. Send a prayer to Allah for us. Makasih, bro.
Okay.
Makasih.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's see.
All right, let's get you back on the bike here. Not sure if you can see me, but you can probably hear me. But we got the boy over here. He survived, or at least dropping him back home safe for his flight tomorrow. Glad that he's safe. Thank you, God, for keeping his head uninjured and bones unbroken. Just a couple of scrapes and bruises. Yeah, gotta stay frosty on these scooters, kiddos. You never know. Good morning, Lombok. Before I wrap this video up, I first of all wanted to say I'm glad that Roomy's okay. He sent me this picture somewhere, a little banged up, but I think he'll be no worse for wear. Obviously grateful that he didn't take any head damage or any broken bones, but just a reminder about the angels of protection we have around us. And I wanted to take a moment to be a little bit vulnerable with you guys. Those that are on my newsletter already will have seen this a few days ago. Went out on Saturday. Top link in the description if you want to be a part of the newsletter moving forward. But one of the only things I haven't really discussed much on this vlog and in my content in general is finances. And it's probably the last category of my life that I haven't really opened up to online about. And my word for 2024 is and was courage. And the word comes from the Latin root cor, which is heart. And the word essentially precipitates into like to speak one's heart fully. And a big part of that this year was talking about overcoming binge eating, which you can go back to that podcast. And that was a huge point of vulnerability. But finances is the next or the final thing I think I need to share a little bit. And also in the name of actually building in public and actually documenting the real process, I think I'm going to do what most people aren't doing, or most entrepreneurs in the space aren't doing, is actually tell you guys and like let you have a true window into how this is going. Now, in the future, when I have P&L sheets and business stuff that I'm not allowed to share, that obviously will have to be held back. But in the meantime, when it's just me and I'm pursuing this call, I want to be transparent about the journey because I think it'll be amazing to look back on. 1, 2, it makes for better story, and 3, my life is only improved by telling more truth. And I don't think that truth can hurt anyone who's on the side of God and truth. The truth can only hurt people who benefit from a lie. So that being said, it's been about 2 years since I entered the arena, and I, for better or for worse, have definitely erred on the side of following the call, rather than financial security, whatever that actually means, and we can get into that in another video. But I think instead of just rambling, I'll read the newsletter because I spent some time writing it. I think it turned out really well. But yeah, we're down to very little money in the bank account, screenshot somewhere on screen. And part of the reason I'm putting this out is even since releasing this newsletter to the email list of 400 or 500 people that are on the email list thus far, the amount of support I've received from people you just would never expect is unbelievably humbling. And I think especially as a man, first of all, putting something like this out, and you'll understand when I read it to you, it's hard to ask for support. I think it's a true humbling of the ego to ask the universe greatly. And I'm a big believer, asking you shall receive. And again, all this is in the newsletter that I'll read. I'm a big believer that the world is wildly abundant. And if your only problems are money problems, you don't have any problems. Now, even just labeling it a problem, I think is not super productive and helpful, which is why I choose to not. But it is definitely a logistical thing that I'm trying to figure out right now as I'm coming to the end of this year, basically down to zero. And I'm gonna have to assess for myself, do I get an additional position, remote job, whatever, to start funding the projects, especially with Virtus Athletica, or what I'm trying to do now, which is actually fundraise and just ask the world via the people that are out there for the money. I think there's always been a time in history where there's been a separation of capital from people with the ideas. And it's pretty common, obviously, in the technology space to seek VC funding, but it even goes back to like the Renaissance period, right? We had the artists who were funded by the wealthy families, the patrons, and I've thought about this idea for a long time, but I think now rubber is going to meet the road and I'm actually going to be seeking it out from people. Part of it is through the internet, but I think part of it could be very much in person. But I wanted to share this newsletter with you. I'll just read it out and insert the images on screen that are from the newsletter. And yeah, I promise to be open and honest about the whole money side of things, because especially just in the online entrepreneur space, it's all this like perceived status game, people pretending that they have more than they don't, or they're starting with less than they did. And nobody's starting place is wrong. It's just wrong to lie or to withhold truth. And yeah, we're seeing it. Every next guru is falling because their backstory is a complete lie. And I personally refuse to like virtue signal or wealth signal beyond my means or under my means. Like, if I get funding from a relative, I'll tell you. If I get funding from a random person that I reached out to, I'll tell you. It's part of the story, but the point is to show you guys my story and just tell the truth of it. However I figure it out, whether it's very bootstrappy and entrepreneur-y and like I have to like save up from the jobs that I accumulate and then pour it into the business, which is thus far what I've done, or if it is receiving a lump sum of capital from an investor or something of that nature. So anyway, here is the newsletter. I've rambled on enough. It's titled, I'm looking for an angel, a humble call for support. God sends angels to aid your path. Angels of protection, angels of redirection, angels of guidance, and angels in the silence. Sometimes the angels drag you off the road after a motorbike accident. Sometimes they spot you cash at the gas station checkout. Sometimes they sponsor your trip abroad or pay off your loans. Sometimes they simply smile at you on the street, reminding you to do the same. Sometimes the angel is the man in the mirror. The angels are all around us. They wear 1,000 faces. They serve one God. But I also believe that sometimes you need to call your angels in, a humble call for support. I know that I'm here for a massive mission. I know that I'm here to change the world. Perhaps that's arrogant. Perhaps that's what I'll need to make it happen. Regardless, I'm in the arena, swinging and bloodied. And my unwillingness to compromise my values have come with the consequence of slower growth in business. I won't shill you a greens powder. I will never promote a demonic globocorp. I won't suppress or censor my message to go viral on social media. I won't coach someone who can barely afford it, and I will never sell a PDF. Because of this, in pursuit of the call this year, I'm coming up on Gas Tank E. Most people would be anxious and worried. Most would panic. I am not. I will not. Since burning the boats 2 years ago, I've had what can only be described as a delusional level of certainty that God will provide. A deep knowing that it's all going to be okay. But I do have low days. Days filled with anxious thoughts and seeds of doubt. Days focused on the when, the what, and the how. I've had more of them recently. As I'm closing out my reading of the Bible, I experience synchronous wisdom every day. Yesterday, I returned to the Gospels for Luke, and this passage was the airdrop of reassurance I needed. And he said to his disciples, "Therefore I tell you, do not be anxious about your life, what you will eat, nor about your body, what you will put on. For life is more than food, and the body more than clothing. Consider the ravens, they neither sow nor reap. They have neither storehouse nor barn, yet God feeds them. Of how much more value are you than the birds? And which of you by being anxious can add a single hour to his lifespan? If then you're not able to do as small a thing as that, why are you anxious about the rest? Consider the lilies, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin, yet I tell you, even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. But if God so clothes the grass, which is alive in the field today, and tomorrow is thrown in the oven, how much more will he clothe you, O you of little faith? And do not seek what you are to eat and what you are to drink, nor be worried. For all the nations of the world seek after these things, and your Father knows that you need them. Instead, seek the kingdom of God, and these things will be added to you. That comes from Luke 12:22-31. Worry won't improve a thing. In fact, it will restrict your ability to improve the situation. Fear is always the control mechanism of evil. But I'm aware that the God will provide attitude can be a slippery slope of cope. So I don't hold this belief to absolve myself from responsibility. Rather, I embody the faithful work required to meet God halfway. This is how I see the seesaw of free will and fate. God is always reaching towards Adam, but Adam must reach back. There's no aid for idle hands. We are co-creating reality with God. We are his hands here on earth. Most often, we are the savior we are praying for. We must participate in our own rescue. The humility to ask is part of that. Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and it will be open to you. Matthew 7:7. So this is me calling in my angels. If you believe in what I'm building here, I'm looking for assistance. If you want to invest or partner with Virtus Athletica, my wellness brand launching in 2025, I'm willing to discuss equity options in exchange for financing. They call it angel investing for a reason. Similarly, if you want to sponsor, patron my creative work with the Vitruvian, all support is appreciated. For either one, you can DM me on any social platform or you can email me at vitruvianmanprogram@gmail.com. I promise that you won't find my hands idle. Thanks for reading. Share if you feel called. Otherwise, talk soon. Be the Renaissance. So that's where I'll end this one. More to come on the financial side from me, but know that I'm okay. Do not give or donate or share any of your money with me if you are already struggling to make ends meet on your end. God's got me. I'm gonna be okay. No need to hit the panic button in any sense. And if you do feel called to share, I'm immensely grateful. I've already had some internal stuff come up with people sending me money. It's brought up some interesting internal feelings, but I've had to realize that it's not me taking money from those people, it's God giving me money through those people. So if you're one of them, thank you so much. If you're somebody who from this video does so, thank you so much. If you want to support me, like I said, those are the ways to reach out. Additionally, on Substack, you can pledge like a subscription if that's like a low friction way and you don't want to message me directly. So thank you for anyone who decides to do that. And for those that just support via watching, subscribing, commenting, your energy alone is all that I really need because money is just a stored unit of energy. So continue to engage with the work and most importantly, engage with your work. The whole point of any of this stuff is to get you guys giving your gift and that is me giving mine. So thank you so much. I'm excited to see what this turns into, excited to live the adventure, continue documenting it here. Otherwise, I will talk to you guys in the next one. Be the Renaissance.